So guys, I think we can start. So first of all, about me, like my name is Harish, and I'm about 15 years of experience in Python, and I'm into industry from last 15 years. Majorly, I have worked in Python and its related domains. I have good knowledge in Python frameworks and domain like data science, then machine learning, then automation, then web development. And I like to say, like, I think you people are on mute by default. So in case if you want to speak, feel free to unmute yourself so that the communication should be bidirectional. It should not happen that only I will be speaking like a robot and you guys will be on listening. Okay, let us discuss this call and not only demonstrate. I hope you guys are okay with that.
Sure, that's perfect.
Yeah. So to begin with, I think you can also introduce yourself so that I can know about you, like what you are exactly at what level. Uh, so starting with the, we can, who join call first? Any idea? I think it was Surya.
All right.
Yes.
Uh, yeah, as you know, my name is Surya. I've been working as technical manager. I have past 20 plus years of industry experience. Primarily as I was a database guy, then I was into all kinds of different roles. I actually happen to be ERP side. I recently took ERP courses in the gigs as well. So I'm trying to learn Python so that we could better do with our scripts, from the technical side point of view. So that's why I'm here for the
Okay.
Python.
Thank you, Surya.
Sure.
That's a lot. Oh, you have mentioned everything that I wanted. Like, what is your expectation? Okay.
Wonderful.
Thank you, Surya. Now, Coffee, please go ahead.
Hi, thank you. My name is Kofi. I have about 20 years experience in IT as well, mainly in PeopleSoft. I have as well taken some Oracle ACM courses with Unigeeks as well.
Oh,
I'm looking to create like a e-learning platform, probably starting with Python. So I wanted to understand the language. I have background in coding, so hopefully this will not be too difficult.
sure. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you, Coffee. Now, Naren, please go ahead. And then please unmute yourself. Otherwise, I can also unmute you if you say. I think I cannot do. You need to unmute yourself. Naren, you there? It's not available, I guess. Yes. Okay. Once he will join, he will reply to this message at least. So, yeah, guys, Python, it's a very popular language. we everyone knows. Okay, why it is popular? Uh, I'll tell you in a few slides, and I'll also have a walkthrough about various Python related topics today, and you'll get to know like why even me also, who was using Java before, was switched to Python, and I like Python very much because of many things um, that it support, uh, and basically uh, what thing which fascinated me about Python was about this data science in AI, web development and automation framework. I always I thought which domain I should go so that I it will be too much interesting for me, and at the same time I will be a valuable engineer in my uh, organization. Then I found these things are very much popular and valuable. uh, this increases my value as well as my salary. Okay, and that's why I went for it. And trust me, it is very interesting when you start coding and start utilizing your brains. Means utilizing your brains, this is very important thing I'm telling you. This doesn't happen in service based or product based, mostly in service based company. Okay, then you got something which is brainstorming, you start realizing, oh no, you are doing a good work. Okay, so this is the most popular domains. Okay, and apart from this there are other scenario also, which primarily it will come into automation side. Okay, you might have heard about we have people who have more than around 20 years experience in this call. They might have heard about this robot and PyTest framework, then Django framework. Okay, then AI, and then data science. I guess you know about this technology at high level. Am I right? Surya, Coffee.
Not really. I'm not much aware of this stuff.
Oh,
I don't know, but I didn't work in the Java that middle level stuff. So
mhm.
these are I'm not into these things.
Okay. So have you even heard about these topics?
I
This
know
technology exists. Okay.
I know artificial intelligence, web development, of course, but I might not know the exact the tools you are talking about, Dang, Django, Flask, all that stuff.
Okay. Okay. So these are the tools which will help you achieve web development. Django and Flask company. Flask was developed before Django. Django is the latest tool we use in industry for doing web development because it has less coding effort as compared to Flask. Okay.
Okay.
And that's why if you see requirements, majorly they will ask for Django because they know that we can save a lot of time.
When you're saying this Python, where actually this being used a web development, because you're saying on the web development, is in a coding wise or
It's a coding
where?
wise.
Okay.
Yeah, so we are going to use many libraries, okay, which has
Mm-hmm.
already been developed in Python. And
Oh,
those
okay.
things we have to use directly. We should know like how to use those libraries. At the same time, we should uh, take care about the syntax and all that Python follows. And the basic language we should know, like your what are variables in Python, then what are statements, what are loops, how they are used, and then functions. In functions also, many types of functions will be there. And in functions, we have something called decorators in Python. These are primarily it is used on major basis in web development. You might have seen at the rate symbol. So that indicates that it's a kind of decorator. So in Django, we use a lot of decorators. So learning Django is not easy task. it takes the time for you to learn Django. Okay, we have to give a dedicated time to learn Django. It's not like that, that if you know Flask, then only you can go for Django. If you don't know Flask, then also you can go for Django. Yeah, Coffee, you wanted to say something, I thought.
Yes, I was going to answer your question.
Yep.
Yes, I've heard of Django. I've watched a lot of YouTube videos around that. I may have worked on Flask based on my personal learning of Python, but I don't remember what I've learned in the past. So yeah, and artificial intelligence, I've started looking into that area as well. I've come across TensorFlow, but I haven't really gotten into it. My initial thinking is to first understand Python and then move on to other domains.
Okay, that's a lot actually. And one thing I can understand, like if you go from any sources from internet, then unless and until you won't apply into projects for continuous like 6 months at least, you won't don't get a feel of it. Okay, that thing happens. So it's okay, but I'll advise you, like if you want to know something, you need to spend some time on it. It's like dedicated person always. So anyway, this is the some of the popular domains. And why my stream? Yeah. Yeah, so let's start about some Python history. Like I have seen many guys, they are confused when Python has come and when Java has come. You guys know any idea like when Python came, before Java or after Java?
No idea.
No idea. Okay, this is good idea if you have no idea. If you have some idea, then just I wanted to know like what is that idea. So I was thinking since Java is a very old language, which I got to know. Then Python they are using recently. Then perhaps what might have happened, Java has come first, then Python. But when I checked it, then I found like Python, it came in 1991, started implementing in 1991. Okay. And in December 1989, yeah, this is roughly equal to, around same days. So, sorry, Java, I think it came to 1991. Where is that? That Okay, let me check this data because in 1991 Java has come, and in 1989 already your Gunde Vens Rossum, he has started implementing many functions in Python. So that was first version came in 1994, and the features which came was the lambda map filter and reduce. So these are the functions that the Python developer they used on a regular basis. And it's not like in version 2 these functions got deprecated. Okay, it was not deprecated. We are still using lambda map along with list comprehension got added. And list comprehension is also something that a developer used a lot. I have mentioned only those points that developer use on practical basis, and not for the purpose of teaching it. Okay, because we are also going to use this. Then in the summer 2010, reduce feature duplication by removing old ways of doing things. Means reduce, it was not a part of any library in version 2. Now in version 3 it become a part of library. That also will come to say. So why do we need to learn Python 2023? Obviously, it is easy to learn. Okay, and it is open source, versatile language, and vast library. When I started, my manager told Harish, Python has very vast libraries. Okay, So we have to make that POC using all the libraries in Python. Okay, give this work in like 2 weeks. Okay, again we'll discuss on this. Then for me, like, why do we need to learn Python is the fourth point. It has vast libraries. Okay, and that also will come to know. This we already discussed. Then Python is a high level or low level. As at this point, if you don't know about high level or low level, I'll tell you, like in low level language, the code directly communicate with your hardware, and in high level language, that communication doesn't happen, and that's why languages like Java and Python, they are considered as high level language. Okay, any example of low level language then? You might have heard about assembly level language. Do you people know about assembly? Any idea?
Yeah, I used it in school,
School,
computer
correct,
science.
correct. Even I
Yeah.
also used that.
Same here, long back.
So there you might have used registers. You might have studied registers, and in that registers we will give data. Okay, and that data will transfer to ALU for arithmetic and logical purpose, and that will give you output. Okay, so that thing doesn't happen. That is also a kind of language we did, correct? Assembly, but that is a very, very low level language. As of now, we are not bothering about infrastructure, okay, system, and that's why was too much cumbersome. Okay, now we are using high languages like Python and Java. Even I started with language C, and C doesn't have that capability, okay, of low level language. So these are a few comparison between high and low level. Okay. And then one more question, which is basically asked from a Python engineer in interviews, like is Python is a compile time or interpreted language? So you guys know about like what is compile time or interpret? If yes, yes. If no, no problem.
Compiler, right? Yeah, we heard about the compiler and that stuff. Interpret compiler is something like at the point of runtime is actually does the compilation, then it sends back to the server, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay. So if you see the diagram to your left, okay, yes. Yeah, hi Naren. Naren, you are on mute. Okay, again, coming to this diagram. So there will be a code, okay, we'll be writing. And code, it will change to the source file. For example, in our case, it will be .py file. And when we'll execute that .py file, see, there's a brown box. This is called Python interpret. What it will do, it will inherently, it will change the code into your bytecode using compiler, and then using virtual machine, it will give you the executable code, like output, basically output. So why it is changing to, first of all, this is a requirement. Machine doesn't understand your language, what we write no source file. It has to be changed into machine code, or you can say bytecode. That has to be done by compiler. Okay. So if why it is a circle with brown box, it want to say that say Python does the compilation, it changes to bytecode, and then virtual machine will do, but this thing the user doesn't come to know about it. Okay, so these things happen behind the screen. We don't know, like when the bytecode it generated. Okay, But in Java, the figure to your right side, we have provision to see that bytecode. Okay, to execute means to generate that bytecode, and then that bytecode we can execute and get the output. So if somebody will ask that Python is your compile time or interpreted language, we need to demonstrate it that behind the screen it is doing the same thing what Java is doing, but we don't need to do it because everything is taken care by the Python. Okay. So then this is the very basic interview question they ask. And what about Java? It's a compile time interpreted, then compile time. Java compile time, in Python interpreted, but in the background, it is doing compilation also. And somebody will ask like, what is compilation? The changing your source file or your code, what we write into bytecode is called compilation. So why do we require this virtual machine? See, computer understand bytecode, but we don't understand. No? We need some output which is in readable form, and that's why that virtual machine gives us that output. What we understand. Yeah, this is another slide. I don't want to talk about it. Okay, for today's, it's not a today topic. Now, basic of Python. Okay, so let me go to my browser and say, so you guys have installed Python in your system? Surya, Coffee?
No, I did not.
No, it is not. Okay. What about you?
I should already have it, but I have to check.
Okay. So just in case, check like if you have installed. Okay. First of all, how to install? I'll tell you. Like this is the URL for the Python downloads, and sorry. Yeah. Then here it is written download the latest version for Windows. If your machine is Windows, then you can directly click on this. Okay, and it will get downloaded here. In case your machine is some other machine like Mac OS, then you can download from here, latest release. So since my machine is Windows, so I have downloaded Python for Windows. And where is my downloads? See, it is still downloading. Let me check. No, it is got downloaded. So once we download that file is called python.exe. It's a executable file. See, it is having type application. So in order to install this application to a system, just either double click or just right click. Run as administrator. Click on yes. Now this is very important here. Please observe in case you are using Windows. Anybody using Windows in this call?
Yes, I am.
Okay. So just if you have already installed, but do you know about this add python.exe to path?
Yes, I manually added.
You manually added. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So you might have installed way back, I guess.
Yeah, way back.
Okay. So now things have changed. Okay. It is easier for us to do the things now. So if you click here, your python.exe, it will get added to that path. Which path? I'll tell you. So after clicking this, just click on install. and it will do your things. Means start, and since I have already installed Python, I don't want to do it again. So what we were speaking about environment is this path. Why it is important? Because these are small things. As a beginner, we don't care about, and that's why we end up in some kind of trouble, and finally things doesn't work for us. So where is that variable? Sorry. So this is the very important variable, path variable. Once you click on path, click on edit, and see here. For me, Python has to be added somewhere. See, Python 3.12. So it has been added, I guess, recently. I have upgraded my Python. Before that, I was using some older versions. So after you add this here, what change it will make to your system, I'll tell you. For example, if I open any terminal. So in Windows, we just enter CMD. Now, if you just enter Python here, okay, your Python shell, it will open here itself in any terminal. Why it is opening? Because we have added that path in the path variable, python.exe path. In case if we forget to add, then it will give you error. Like it will not recognize what is Python here. Now, for example, in the same path, if you want to add some other, I want to open, first of all, get come out of it towards. If I want to add Java, for example, what error I will get? I think Java also installed in my system. And that's why it is recognizing. See, it is giving information about Java for me. This is normal terminal I've opened in my Windows. So if Java was not added or not installed, it was giving me some other error that it won't recognize what is Java. Obviously, this is expected, correct? So this was about Python. Python, the same shell. What I can do, I can do some programming like print hello. This is the first command that I used. So it will print hello. What? Correct. If you want to do some other thing like, for example, yeah, print 10 plus 20, output will be 30. So why we use this shell? Because in case we got stuck in our development and we want to see like debug that thing in manually, like if it is like 2 or 3 lines of code, we can use this terminal. Otherwise, for 10 or more lines of code, we should go for some IDE. Now, what is that IDE? IDE is something which is edited. We'll write our code there, and we'll link Python in that IDE so that we can directly execute program from that. So I'm using VS Code for me, okay, for a lot of my projects. And let me see, where is that downloads? I think if I click here directly, yes. So for Windows, this is your installer. So if I click here, it started downloading my VS Code. You might have heard about Visual Studio Code, correct? This is not a new. Yeah, okay.
Yes, I've used it.
You have used it. Surya, you have used it?
No, I did not, but I heard of it.
You have heard it. So you have heard about PyChart ID actives?
Yes, yes, in my previous projects, when I was for the team dealing with this Java, all this stuff, they
Oh,
used to use this IDEs. I used to watch them, making sure things are happening. I
okay.
don't know myself, but I know people are working on that.
Okay. No problem. Like whatever thing I'm telling you, it is from step 0. Then I'm going to step 1. Why I
That's
have
a perfect.
shown
That's
you?
what I'd like to know.
Yeah, yeah. So first of all, we need to install the python.exe. Sorry. Things are, means weather is changing here in Bangalore. Okay. So uh, Python exe first will install it. We'll make sure that it is added to the path. Okay, environment path. Then we'll install one ID, and before that, like we'll download that ID, and we'll follow the various steps what it takes to install that. So that also will cover, like not today, like in case if it is required. Then otherwise, I will share you a document where all the steps are mentioned. So VS Code, it is already there in my system because I use VS Code only for my programming on daily basis. Okay. So are able to see, I have already opened the IID. Correct. So I want to, as of now, start a new one single Python file. I want to open, and so in file, we'll click here, new file, and then it will ask me to select like which type you want, which file type you want. It's either it is text file, normal text file, or Python file, or Jupyter notebook, or new Java classes. All are integrated in my system. I can run Java code also. I can open notebook, Jupyter notebook also, and Python file. So in my case, as of now, it should be Python file. So in Python file, I will write one line like print hello world. Now, just now I've created, so I need to save it somewhere. This is very important. Without saving, it won't work. What I will do, demo.py will make and see the files type should be Python. Okay, just make sure it should be there. Yes, I want to replace it. The thing got saved, why it is not?
I have a quick question.
Sorry.
I have a question.
Yeah, please go ahead.
What plugin do you use for the code formatting?
Login. I didn't get you.
The code formatting. So for the code that you have, the hello world is in red font, right?
Okay, this is by default format. I have not selected any specific format for this.
Okay.
Yeah. So I have written one line of code. I want to execute. How to execute? So there are three options. I can open one terminal here. I think one terminal was already open here for Python. And I will go, where is it? My in desktop, I have that folder. I have that file, I guess. So in Windows, we use dir to see what are the files, uh, that location. So yeah, we have demo.py here. So we can use Python followed by your file name. So this is the one way to execute this file. What is another way? Can you see this triangular icon? Run Python file. So here we can directly run. Click on run Python. So you got executed. You are able to see hello world. And there is one more option, I guess. Let me see, where is it? Yeah, run and debug, for example. And this would be a topic for future discussion also. But let me. This is another kind of execution. So I'll cover it to submit. Run and debug. Click on run and debug. Python file. Just see here what will happen. Now, where is that console? Yeah, see here. There are few options that we need to do while debugging. Like this is for stopping your debugging. Your current execution will stop. This will go step into, like as of now we have only one line of code. In future I'll tell you, and if you have multiple line of code, and we have put this breakpoint here, so we will be having many breakpoints in our code. Wherever we want to see, like we want to debug that line, or before that, we'll put debugger. Your execution will stop at that point where this red symbol will be there. So if you want to go more, see, it has printed hello. So this is also one kind of debugger. But knowing about all those things, like step into step a word, then there are other tabs also, correct, that will cover. So this was about execution. Now let me go back to the PPT. Yeah. So these are the basic of Pythons. So any language, it comes with mostly programming language. It comes with two things required. Okay, one is data structure, and another is algorithm. So data structures will means anything which will store your data temporarily. Okay, for example, if you want to store numbers, I want to store here some number like 20. Okay, so here num is a kind of label, and this label has been some value. So here we can see define variable has been defined. Okay, I want to do some other number which is some other type like float or decimal number. Correct. I want to define some other string. Sorry, like hello world string. Okay, so these things we can do it without mentioning the type, what type it is. For example, in Java, when I used to do what I used to do, like I used to write here like int num, then again float num2, then string s. That we used to do in Java. Okay, but in Python we don't require to do it this, and that's a Python is called dynamically typed. if this num we want to make it some string, it means like gigs. It won't throw me any error. Okay, so that's why variables are dynamic type. Whatever value it will you will assign, it will change its role. It will become from int to string. And in Python, we use something called type. Type, it will tell you like what kind of data it is. See the out. So this is having class object of string. What about s? We can also print for s also. So this is also string. There was no need for this. Let me remove this one. See, first is int type 20 and second is float. So I have a question here. What do you think? This type function, is it a useful function for us? What do you think as of this point of time? Like, what do you think? It will be a useful function for us? This something we have defined to variable and we don't know this type. We can use this function, correct?
Yes, I think so. You can check the type of a variable and
Correct.
then.
So in case we are getting any error, okay, then when we are doing some debug, okay, so what we'll do for debug, we can enclose this statement. Means things why it is not happening. I'll tell you in future why means one usage. For example, I want to add two numbers like x and y, and I want to print. I want to store this calculation to result variable. Okay, so I have made mistake. So it comes out to be 30, correct? Now let's change value of this. I want to make like gigs. Now I want to add both x and y. Okay, so as a beginner, I don't know like what Python support, what doesn't. I just want to add. So see, what is right? It's like unsupported operand int and string. So it is telling that either these means this addition is not possible because first of all, this add function doesn't know like how to add one integer to a string. Okay, Python has not such power magic to do that. Okay. So when it is a small code, it's okay. Means you can see here it is 10 integer, here it is string. This is guys, this is string. Okay, but if you are doing a development project, then you might having scenarios where you are not able to see the values because developers are told, if managers might have known about it, that don't do any hard code in your project, correct? Any values you cannot use directly. If you want to use any directly, take input from user. So in that case, type can be used, and type will be used in many other cases also. We'll see. So But still I want to do this. I want to do this addition operator somehow. Is there any way in Python? Yes, there is a way in Python. We can use this using str function. Str string, this is already string. I have to change my integer into string. So x is my integer, then plus y, and see what is the output. See, we got some output, correct? 10 unibits. So basically here, what it is doing is concatenation. It is just concatenating two string. We'll take one more example. I am a, see, we got output like this. I'm a unibit. I can clear this output using CL, clear in Windows. Okay, so this is for addition operators. And just now I have mentioned about take input from user. Okay, so we'll do it that way. There is a function called input. Okay, in Python 3, this input function has been introduced. In Python 2, function was raw input. Okay, instead of input. So whenever you will say raw input in your code, you just think that this code was developed when Python 2 was there. Python 3 was not there. Otherwise, client have told you to use Python 2. That's why developer is using raw input. So this is a old function we are not using as of now in raw input. So what does this input function does? It will ask user to enter a number or anything that you want. After we'll try to print like what printed is good. Output it is giving us. So see here it is asked enter a number. I will enter one number. Output is 10, correct? So what do you think? This X is, it is a which type of data? We have just now seen like two data types. Sorry, three. One is integer, one is float, and one is string. So which type is it? X. We are giving 10 as a value.
It's number, right?
Yeah, it's a number.
Integer.
It should be integer, correct? So what I will do? Yeah. I will see the type, okay? Oh my God, it is a string class, correct? You almost, we thought like it is an integer, but it is a string class. So again, there is one more question, one more point I want to say. Using input function, if anything you are entering, it will be a string only. If you want to change to some other form, some other data type, we need to cast it. You might have heard about this word, cast. And how this casting will be done? We can use here, we want integer, correct? 10 is an integer. We want it as an integer form. Then we'll be using it like an int. And now we'll run the code. Now it is a class int. So here also developer, they made mistake as a beginner, like because here we have entered like x is one more number I will take, otherwise user input input enter another number. And it is got it. Yes is equal to x plus y. So see, first is this is an integer, correct? will be giving some integer value, and this will be some kind of string, correct? So here, what do you think? The result, it will do the addition operation here?
No, it will fail.
Correct, thanks. Okay, now you understood like why it will fail, because this is an integer, this is a string. Just now you have seen. So we can execute and stack. Another number, 20. See, same error, unsupported type, internal string. Then we have something called string, and strings are used see, few data types they are used regularly in projects. If a developer will do any development, this data types will come into his mind first, and that is string, the list, the numbers, because these are basic data types. Then the data structures like dictionary or tuples or linked list, stack and queues, these are secondary data types. So they will come into your mind not as frequent as these data types like nums and strings. So how is string? We'll define the string like I am. Just now we have defined one unique, and what I want to do, I want to do some operations, string operations on this. So what I have done, like I have defined one string, and after a variable name, I have entered dot operator. So automatically we have got some suggestions, auto suggestions. Okay, this will come as a feature to when you will install this IAT. So these are the functions we can use. For example, I want to take something called lower. Okay, that's dot lower. So when we'll execute, let me clear this output. Nothing happened because we are not printing anything. Okay, so let me save this result to new string. So what I have entered was, let me put some few caps character so that we can distinguish. So my string, original string was this one, and my new string is this one. So it has changed the case for each letter what was mentioned in our older string. Now at the same time, I want to see what happened to my original string. Is it the same or it got changed? No, it not got changed. So we should keep in mind, like while using these functions, how it is impacting my original variable. Either it is changing or not. Okay. So these are few of the things like this demo session one for us, and tomorrow also we'll be doing a demo only, because I have been told like that first two sessions will be demo, and after that from your feedback I will decide like from where to continue. So now it's up to you, like we have few more minutes, like 5 to 10. If you want to ask anything like related to this Python, we can have a discussion now.
Okay, thank you. So how long is this training?
This training is around 7 to 8 weeks.
Okay.
Can you describe what different topics you'll be touching on this training?
Yes, yes, sure. Okay. Where is that? Okay. This. So this PDF file you can download from website also. You know, it's Python. This has been shared with you. This document. Yeah. So we will have total, 30 modules. Like you can see here, from module 1 to 20, it is majorly Python related, non-project activities. Okay, and from 21 onwards, we are going to have 10 real-time projects that we have used in our industry. Uh, so this project can be related to your web development. This project can be related to your automation scenarios, and this project can be related to your database engineer. Uh, I think Surya, you told no? You are database engineer.
Yes,
Yes.
my
So
background is from completely by the database.
yeah. So we can cover a few projects from database, and doing that, we'll be using this module. Okay. So like creating tables, then schemas, then updating that table, then loading that tables with the records. Those things are a part of project. Okay.
How, how about file processing? Uh,
Which process?
File processing data
Yes,
from
yes. So
file.
that is also we can take as a part of project. Uh, Even file processing as well as logging. Logging is a very important part because it interacts with user. Okay, whatever output we'll see. For example, here we are getting logs here, correct? But if we want to make it more readable, we want to customize it. Okay, so in that case, we will use logging, which is a module in Python. Then we can use also do some projects on email part. Email, because there are many user stories you will be getting where you need to send some files on emails, and some on top of it many requirements will be there. So that is also will cover as a part of project.
And are we going to touch on REST APIs?
Yes, REST APIs also we can touch. I have to see like uh, first of all which public APIs I have access. In case I also have Postman in my system. So if I get any API and I'm able to fetch the data from that API, I have to Google it like somewhere. Then we can do it. First of all, we'll do manually using Postman. Okay, and the same thing we can do using Python also. Okay, I'll sign up after some time.
Is it Java needed for this Python?
No, no, Java is not needed. Not as a language prerequisite is needed for this course. It is made in such a way. So what are the topics we'll cover in Python? And at the same time, we'll keep on asking you guys, like, have you read this before or not? If you have not read, I will consider you like, fresher, a beginner. Otherwise, if you know, then we can go for some advanced, coding. Okay, because straight away going to advance, it will be like a bouncer. If you want to duck it, duck. Otherwise, you can leave it. So, collections is very important topic in Python, and we use collections more frequently. Functions are like a skeleton. Without functions and all, Python doesn't exist. One more thing I wanted to tell you about this help menu in Python, where I always refer. For example, this is my Python shell, okay, and I want to get help of object like string. So I have entered str and see I have got full documentation. Okay, so these are things which Python has developed. It's not like any developer has made his own article on website. Okay, so there are many functions with find format. Okay, for example, I want to use on this file. I am okay. I want to see this string. It ends with the find. I was telling correct. It has string called you all or not or un only, not What do you think? It will give me yes or no or true false. In Python, it's a programming language. Obviously, it will be either true or false. It will give true, correct? Because the string has this keyword.
Yes. Yeah.
So we are right, but what it is giving you is the index. For example, the string starting with index 0, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So it is giving me the starting index of u. If I remove it, and no, also it will give me the same output. Okay, so these are the functions we need to play with on daily basis. Then only we'll get used to it. Okay, I told you, this dot after that auto suggestions. These are very handy. We have access, we know everything. It is there in front of us. We need to just use it. In case we find some difficulty, then we have this help menu. This will help us every time. As a beginner, I'm telling you. Once you get worse with then you don't need to open this help menu. So anything else, guys?
How about web scripting? I think.
Yeah, web scraping into the part of web development now. Like yeah, we have topics like how to gather the title, and then we can enter username password in using Selenium. Those things we can do it. So grabbing a title class and then the introduction to scrapping libraries. So those will cover. Then date times. This is very important module in Python. Who I am telling you because I've seen like it has been used on frequent basis. Operating system interface. Now, as we are moving to AWS, these things are not frequently used. But when I started, it was important, and we need to use models like OS model. And if you want to give any command to my operating system, that module we need to use. So, see, operating system command line arguments that we are going to cover. And then about this multi-threading. Multi-threading, I'll tell you brief you the concept what it multi-thread exactly is multi-threading, and why it is used, why it is useful in programming language. And we'll little bit compare multi-threading with Java because Java is more robust language as compared to Python. Python came because of vast libraries. Okay, so I haven't seen any scenarios where multi-threading is used to such an extent that Java used. Then virtual environments will create virtual environment when we are creating any project. Okay, so any project that we are going to create has to be confined to that virtual environment. So there are a few bunch of commands that we are going to use. Then we also see about GitHub. GitHub, like all the developers need to share their code to some common, tool. That repository is called GitHub, so that we can see each other code. We can send it for review. Okay, um, if there is any problem, we can with the current version, we can go back to the older versions, because GitHub it makes records of everything. If you are deleting anything, that is also getting saved somewhere in GitHub. First of all, I haven't seen the developers, they have been allowed for delete the repo. So, so that you will not lose any valuable information. In data science, most popular libraries, Seaborn, Pandas, Matplotlib for GUI, means intuitive purpose, Matplotlib we use. Jupyter Notebook is something which is similar to your VS Code. Okay, but for larger file size, this Jupyter Notebook is preferred. Then Surya, you might be knowing everything about this. Okay. This, being a database engineer, like it's like nothing for you. Kind of. The subqueries and all, those are very vast topics. In that this cross joins, then joins, complex joins we get. So those are vast topics for database engineer. You get sometimes join like which is more than 100 lines and 50 lines. You need to debug. You have to break each and everything, so that you first of all you get understand. Okay, guys. So are we done today, or do we have more to discuss?
So the duration is an hour and a half, 90 minutes, or
You can take about 90 minutes. Correct.
okay.
See, if you have any problems, question regarding with the course content, because this is not something that I have written. I was also shared with these topics, and I was told that we need to complete it within this time frame. But trust me, Python is not like that. Okay, not a single language is like that. You will complete in 2 months. Is it not possible? So it level by level. So this is kind of beginner level. There are 3 levels. What I know: beginner level, intermediate level, and one is advanced level. People don't required to go to advanced level, because intermediate level only they get a lot of opportunities. I told everyone is moving towards cloud, AWS, Azure, okay, Oracle. So will be developers will be using less coding. But why this course is important? Because this is the backbone. If you don't know the Python syntax, variables, and then files handling, exceptions, those things, then it's not that AWS will do everything for you. So Narendra, I don't know, he has joined, but he never spoke in this call. If he's still listening, uh, Narendra, hello. Maybe I'll ask the team like about him. Like, why is there any problem from his end? because from my end it is smooth. You people are able to respond. Okay, then let's see you tomorrow. Okay.
All right. Thank you, Harish.
Tomorrow we'll be doing most of the coding part. I don't want to discuss many things. I just will do coding, and those auto suggestion functions mostly will be using Python. That's it.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
So will you be
Hmm.
discussing over the Linux part, how this Python being used on the Linux side? Because we use on the Linux primarily at the work. We do the everything on the Linux.
Okay, Linux is not installed in my system, so I cannot use as a.
I mean, at least can you compare? If I mean, will they be the functions are same on the
the
Windows
functions will
and
be
Linux?
the same. Python is same, so function. So sorry, I think this point I didn't cover you. Python is platform independent.
Right.
That is the meaning that you can use in a Mac OS, in Windows, a Linux operating system.
Right.
So the functions will be the same. Only a few things will change, like installation part. In Windows, we have GUI available. You just need to click and things will happen for you. But in Linux, it is, I don't know, like any GUI is available, or do we need to use commands for Linux for installing the Python, even VS Code as also. But I can provide you, information.
Yeah, that would be great.
Yeah.
That would be great.
Yeah. So even in that way, I will increase my knowledge also.
That's excellent.
But with Mac OS, I cannot do because I don't have the system. Mac OS.
Yeah, that's fine. I mean, we work completely on Linux. We don't
Linux.
work on the Windows.
Okay.
So I'm just wondering how can I practice and
Yeah. We can deal with it. No problems.
all that. Wonderful. Then I'm good. Thank you so much, Mr. Harish. It's a nice class.
Thank you, Surya. Thank you, Coffee, for joining. Bye.
Yep. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.